Outside.
What for?
Against the wall.
I said, get over there.
Oh, take it easy, will ya?
Hard night, Burns.
Oh.
Brian, where's your tape recorder?
My what?
Your tape recorder.
Oh, I lent that to B. Hey, B, you got my tape recorder, haven't you?
Yeah, I've got it.
All right, you two, back inside.
Listen, what's so special about my tapes? You're the second person in 2 days to be interested in
They're
them.
confiscated.
Oh, really?
I'm gonna lie down.
What's that in aid of?
You know better than that.
Come on, I got a right to know.
New policy, no tapes, no recorders.
Since when?
Since now.
Hey, go easy, you don't be so bloody rough, do you?
Corridor, Smith.
Well, good morning to you, too. Now, come on, what is all this?
Outside and against the wall.
Charming way to start a day. I remember I'm ticklish, Vera.
That's enough, Smith.
Why have you got two tape recorders, Smith?
Because the batteries are dead in one and the other one belongs to Hazel.
What do you need a recorder for?
Well, I was listening to some tapes, wasn't I?
That your kind of music, Smith?
Since when is there a regulation saying what kind of music I can listen to?
This place must be getting to you.
Back inside.
Oh, look, what is all this?
Routine security measures. I was sure you'd understand.
Hello, Gwen. How are you?
I'm fine, Mrs. Davidson. You look well.
It's nice to get away from the office for a day. How's Mother?
The same old thing. She complains about this and that, but the real truth of the matter is she's a lonely old lady with nothing to occupy her mind.
I'm sorry she hasn't kept up her charity work. She practically ran those committees single-handed.
Would help, but it's unlikely. I think she's convinced herself she's too sick for all that now.
What does Dr. Vaughan say?
He tells her there's nothing wrong. She calls him all sorts of incompetent things and doesn't believe a word he says.
It must be very hard for you, Gwen.
I'm not complaining. Her bark's worse than her bite. Anyway, I'm sure she still loves us all.
I'm sure she does. Hello, Mother.
I suppose you're now going to tell me I look very well. Although, considering the length of time since your last visit, I doubt very much if you remember how I looked then.
I think you do look well.
I presume you're too busy with your wayward girls, or whatever they are.
How do you feel?
If you must know, terrible. I've had a lot of pain, and I find it impossible to sleep.
Have you spoken to Dr. Vaughan about it?
Oh, Hubert's a fine man, and I'm very fond of him. But quite frankly, as a medical practitioner, I rather doubt his diagnostic capabilities.
Well, he's looked after the family very well in the past.
He has indeed, in the past. But he's getting on, as we all are. And I don't think he grasps things as well as he should.
Oh, Mother, you remind me of Lizzie, one of our older inmates. She's had all sorts of complaints.
I hardly think I merit comparison with a prisoner, and I resent the suggestion that I'm manufacturing my illness. I could never understand why you chose such a profession.
I enjoy my work.
With your background, you could have had a distinguished career at law. I notice there are a number of lady judges these days. But on the other hand, I'll never know why you didn't settle down to your marriage and have children. At least James has had the decency to procreate. James has been a good son in many ways.
Oh, Okay, ladies, smoko. Rack off.
Hey, B, are you going to let the screws get away with that?
No, I've been thinking about that.
Well, what about our rights?
Yeah, I bet they don't confiscate tape recorders in the Swedish prisons.
What are you going to do about it, B?
Well, there's always the usual, I suppose. Riot, sit in, go on strike, but we have tried all them before.
Yeah, and it's never worked, remember? Listen, what about that idea that Davo had for the Needs Committee?
Oh, we need the tape recorders back.
And the tapes.
Well, I suppose now is as good a time as any. They can hardly call us irresponsible if we state our views properly, put a proper case like good committee members.
It's worth a try.
And if it doesn't work, then we'll try something more persuasive. Okay, so who wants to be on the committee?
Well, not me.
Well, we're going to have to get a representative from each block.
That sounds like a good idea. You look like you could do with some fresh air, Doreen. You take the trolley round to the other blocks and tell them we're going to all have one rep.
I mean, I think I can walk that.
Oh, rubbish. Go on.
You just don't know how crook I feel.
I know how crook you will feel if you don't do it. Now, get going. Hey, listen, you lot. Who's going to be our rep? You.
Oh, well, I reckon it should be you, B.
Yeah. Any other suggestions? Okay, so it's unanimous. Good choice, ladies.
Yeah, on by a landslide, eh?
So the last one?
From the maternity block.
Good.
The women are upset. Some of the tapes are nursery rhymes for the kids.
You'd just like the women to use an innocent-looking tape for their own purposes.
Hope there's not going to be trouble.
Well, there shouldn't be. But if there is any, you let me know straight away. You can pass it on to the other officers as well. They're to watch the women very carefully.
This could go on all day.
You sure Gaffney wasn't bluffing?
Positive. Trouble is, I didn't see it. Could be any one of these.
You better press on then.
Now, you look after yourself, my dear. I'll be back to see you again tomorrow afternoon. Bye-bye.
How is she, Doctor?
Much the same.
Well, it worries me that Mother complains so much of suffering.
I must admit to being a little baffled. Your mother tends to exaggerate her symptoms, but I always allow for that. For example, she will tell me she has a severe migraine when the diagnosis indicates a mild headache.
Well, is she suffering from anything seriously?
No, I think it is age that has contributed most. She says she has severe headaches and blackouts at the moment, so I've given her some tablets. It'll probably turn out to be nothing more than a sinus infection.
Well, that's a relief, but all this exaggeration is worrying.
Yes. Well, I'm afraid it's very common at her age.
Can I get you a cup of tea, Doctor?
Oh, no, thank you, Gwen. I really must be off now. Well, I'll drop in again tomorrow, just to see how she's going. It's lovely to see you again, Erica.
Give my love to Margaret.
Of course. Now, don't you work too hard on that prison of yours. Margaret and I watch all the news. You must be very busy.
Yes, we are.
Well, next time you're up, would you like to come and see us?
Yes, I'd love to.
Fine. Well, I'll show myself out. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Well, what did he tell you? That I'm inventing my illness?
No, he didn't say that.
I could hear you, talking as if I wasn't here. I'm not a vegetable, you know.
Mother, you would do yourself and all of us a great favor if you would think about things more positively.
What do you mean?
Well, get out more, meet people, enjoy life.
How can I?
You are 69 years of age. There are lots of people that age who live incredibly busy and happy lives.
They're not as sick as I am.
Mother, the oldest inmate at Wentworth is 72 years of age. She's had 2 heart attacks, and only a few months ago she attempted to escape through a tunnel.
I resent your inference, Erica, and I abhor the comparison. I simply am not well enough to lead the life I used to live, whether you believe me or not.
Oh, Mother.
And what's more, if you showed as much concern for your own mother as you do for your social misfits, perhaps I would feel better.
You have no right to say that. I care for you far more than you ever cared for us as children. It's a pity you didn't show the responsibility towards me